This video is about graphing linear equations. The equation of a line can be written in the form y equals mx plus b, where m represents the slope and b represents the y-intercept. So the first thing you're going to do is figure out what the m is and what the b is. So remember, it's y equals mx plus b. So m is 2, and I always want my slope to be a fraction, so I'm going to put 2 over 1. b is 4. So I like to think that b represents the beginning. That's your beginning number. So I'm going to begin on the y-intercept at 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, put a point. My slope is 2 over 1. Remember, slope is rise over run. So I'm going to rise 2, run 1. Rise 2, run 1. Now when we run, we always run to the right. We always go right. The only time you go left is when you run out of room on the right side. So rise 2, run 1. Rise 2, run 1. Now I've run out of room, so now I'm going to go in the opposite direction, left. Down 2, left 1. Now I'm going to go all the way across. Draw arrows at the end, and that's my linear equation. Okay, number 2. My slope is negative 3 over 2. My y-intercept is negative 3. So B is where you begin. I'm going to begin at negative 3 on the y-axis. M is your slope. So I like to think of M as how you move on the graph. So I'm going to move negative 3, run 2. So remember, rise, run. When you run, it's always to the right. So I'm going to, because my rise is negative 3, that means I'm going to go down 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to run 2 to the right. Rise, negative 3, run 2. Now I have run out of room, so now I'm going to go left. Okay, number 3. My m is negative 4. So since it's not a fraction, I'm going to put it over 1. So negative 4 over 1. I don't have a b, so that means my b is 0. So that means I'm going to begin at 0 on the y-axis. My slope, how you move, is negative 4 over 1. So I'm going to go down 4 because it's negative. 1, 2, 3, 4, right 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, right 1. Run out of room, so I'll go left. 1, 2, 3, 4, right 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, right 1. Okay, we're going to leave number 4 to do in class. Let's do one of these examples. So this one you have to change it to y equals mx plus b form, because now this form is called standard form, and standard form is not the best way to graph the equation. So let's change it into slope-intercept form. So we've been doing this in class. First step is to move the x. So I have a positive x, I'm going to minus x on both sides. Bring down the y equals. Now these are not like terms, so I'm not going to combine them. I'm going to copy them down. Now, normally I would divide by the number in front of y, but there is no number in front of y. So that means I'm done. Once you get y by itself, you're done. So let's write down what the m is and the b is. So the m is the number in front of your x. You have no number there, so that means there's a 1 there. So my slope is -1. Now I have to make it a fraction, so I'm going to put -1 over 1. My y-intercept is 3. So I'm going to begin at 3 on the y-axis. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to move -1 over 1. So remember, rise over run. So I'm going to rise. Actually, I'm going to go down because it's negative. Down 1, right 1. Down 1, right 1. Down 1, right 1. Remember, you always go to the right until you run out of room. So now I'm going to go left. Okay, number 6. Move the x to one side, so I'm going to subtract 3x. Copy down what I have, so I have a -3, negative y equals. Make sure if there's a negative in front of the y, you copy down the sign with the y. So now I'm going to copy -3x minus 6. Remember, these are not like terms, so you cannot combine those. You can't subtract -6 minus 3. You just copy them down because they're not like terms. Okay, now I have a negative in front of my y, so I have to get rid of that negative. So I'm going to put a 1 there. Now I'm going to divide everything by -1. So I'll have y equals -3 divided by -1. Well, a negative divided by a negative would be a +3. -6 divided by -1 would be a +6. So let's write down my m and my b. My m will be 3, or 3 over 1. My b would be 6. So I begin at 6 on the y-axis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to move up 3, run 1. Rise 3, run 1. Rise 3, run 1. Remember, it's always to the right. Now, I only had a chance to go over 1 time before I run out of room. So now I'm going to go left, opposite direction. Down 3, left 1. Okay, we're going to save 7 to do in class.